Well, thank you, Chair. And again, like I said earlier, I'm sorry that you have to bleed so that we can actually do something with it. So I am going to come back to my very unsexy, but I think so important issue and question around data collection, because I believe that what we don't track, we don't see. So talk about making invisible. So I'm going to start with Ms. Park. Remember, I only have about 2.5 minutes, and I want to get the last, all three of you in there, so I apologize for that. But if you could speak to that.
The lack of collection by the CAF makes it very difficult for the VAC to have a history. I'll give you the one example that surprised me, but we have a saying at Service from a Salute, hashtag I am not surprised, and that was deployment. Women sent on deployment, they did not record where they were, what they did, so there is no record. We have to crowdsource now. That those deployment experiences I would say more logically harsher conditions will have implications for later health care and other issues. And so if I had a request, we've tried a study. They have tried to do a study. They've been able to find women back to 2000, but they say that isn't possible to find them earlier than that. There have been 399 missions since 1945. Women we know started in 1975, being sent on international deployments. The only thing we can do is, and that's what we are undertaking, is crowdsourcing.
Chair, we're looking for these purge victims, purge survivors. We'd like to talk to their family. We don't know how to find them. We don't have the data to know who they are or how to reach them. We think the government might be able to help by doing much more broadcast kind of information and awareness raising. We need this data because we know that this is an aging group and that they're in their final years in many cases, and we want them to know in this period of their life that they are respected as veterans and that they can get aging help by Veterans Affairs, by the government, that in many cases, as I've said, has betrayed them. But without this data, we don't even know what we're dealing with to try to resource the help for them.
Anyone else that wanted to respond briefly? We are sort of at the end of time, but we can, if there's a brief response, I can enable that.
I was just going to say that if Veterans Affairs and CAF tracked injuries and claims, if we tracked all of these different metrics, I guess, data points, then we would know what programs are needed. We could collect data about how effective they are. And that's the whole point of it, right? We need to be transparent and accountable to the public. These are taxpayer dollars. The programs, if they are not designed for you, they're not going to work for you. And collecting that data is like, it's got to be part of the backbone of all, or the foundation of all the work that goes forward. Because, like I said, you can't treat it if you can't name it. You can't name it if you don't track it and have the data. So, thank you.